it's Ange, and I am back for part 2 of my resin pour on my large charcuterie board. So I've posted the first video, and that one goes into pretty good explanations about how I mix the resin and how much resin I use and how I lay down my colors. So this video should be fairly quick. And the plan is just, to show you how I'm going to lay the second color on top of the first color, or the first layer of resin that I did. So I will flip the phone around and show you what we've got and what we're working with, and then we'll get right into pouring on the board. And I will pre-mix my resin and get everything going so that we're ready, and then we'll just go from there and get right into it. Here is the board from yesterday that we did. So I let it sit for 24 hours, and it's got some really nice lacing on the waves that I laid down, the white. And so tonight, I think I might mix all three. We'll see. But these were the three that I used. I used the turquoise blue, I used the Maestring tropical blue, and the opulent tanzanite. So I think I might actually mix all three of those into one pot and lay down one color with a wave. Okay, so I have mixed my resin. Sorry for the shadows, or that's maybe a little better. Now I'm gonna let this one sit for about 10 minutes, and that will hopefully help some of the air bubbles come out as well. It's got quite a lot of air bubbles in it. So, and it was like that yesterday too, and I poured it and I just popped it. But the reason I'm letting it sit is because, yeah, they're coming out. The reason I'm letting it sit for 10 minutes is because I want it to thicken up a little bit so that when I pour it onto my board, I want it to stick. I want it, when it falls over the edge, I don't want it to just drip off. I want it to, hopefully stick to the edge a little bit. So that's my whole thought process on that. So I've set a timer for 10 minutes. So when that's done, I'll be back and we will mix our pigments. All right, so tonight, because I only need a thin amount of white, clear for one of my pours, and then my white, and then the majority of it's going to be just one color. I'm going to put a little bit of clear in this cup. And it cleared up a little bit, but there's still a few bubbles in it. But I think if I left it a little bit longer, it'd get obviously more clear, but it has a work time of about 30 minutes. So there's my clear, and I just want to make sure I've got enough of it for my, my shoreline. There's my clear, and then my white. So remember, if I showed you in the last video, this was my reminder white, not to make so much white for the wave. That's quite a lot of white. So tonight I did not do that. So got my white, stick a little blob in there and stir that up. And I even had white left over last night too, and I still sorry, what am I trying to say here? I had white left over and I still made less. So we're gonna mix this one up really well and put it to the side. Okay, so I've got my white. I'm gonna put a little bit more in there. I really don't want to end up with not enough clear. Okay, clear. Because they're sort of all blended together, I kind of want to make like one solid one solid one. So I'm going to mix these two together, and then I might add some of the brown or some of the blue. I don't know where I got brown from. Okay. Put the lid on so I make sure I don't spill. Okay, I've got my pigments in there. Mix them really well. Just go around, scrape all the edges. I think because it is green and darker, I'm going to add a touch of the opulent tanzanite to this. And there's nothing that says you can't mix your pigments together. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to start small. And I know that probably seemed like a lot, but I don't think it was. And we'll mix it and we'll... So I just made it a little bit darker, which I think will be good. I'm just going to go over there and look. Go right back. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so I just checked it against my board. One thing I forgot to tell you guys was take your rings off. I didn't do what I was preaching yesterday. And you probably noticed I don't have my PPE on. I'm doing a quick pour and I'll put it on. Okay, got my PPE on and my gloves, and I've got my resin, and I'm just doing one color. So for this one, I can see that there's, you know, a few little bumps and bubbles and stuff that popped up, but that's okay. It's going to get covered by the next layer, so I'm not worried about it. And then this will dry for a couple days, and then I'll take it outside and we'll flip it over and I'll sand it. When you're pouring, don't hold your stir stick over your board. You'll end up dripping somewhere you don't want to have resin. And then it's a pain in the butt to clean it off. Okay, now I'm going to do the clear. Remember, make a little point, so you get a little point on your cup, and then you can direct it where you want it to go. Again, make your little point. Okay, now we can heat it up and spread the resin. So I'm going to gently heat up the resin, and then I'll start blowing out the white. Okay, I hope I got all the spots. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's my first big board. I think the colors are really pretty. I like the mix that I did. So I've fixed all the drips. I've got some really pretty lacing here down at the end. We'll see how it dries. There's some more pretty lacing in the middle. And then the handle. So yeah, it was, I mean, it's interesting. I'm still learning. I mean, I think it's really, really pretty. Maybe it could have just used one layer. I'm not sure. You let me know what you think in the comments. One layer or two. But, you know, if someone takes that to someone's house with a beautiful charcuterie laid out on it, I think they're going to get a lot of compliments. Because it is a beautiful board. And it's got some very cool effects from, you know, ocean effects on it. So, you know, every piece is different. No piece will be the same. You can never replicate anything. And, but they sure are a lot of fun to make. So there's the big guy from far back. And so the next video, I will show you how to sand it and what I do and how I get rid of those drips. And there's quite a few drips happening right now, so I think I actually might just take a Q-tip or a popsicle stick and just try to get rid of some of them so that it's easier to sand it. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's the ocean, right? The ocean isn't perfect. It's got lots of things going on with it. And that darn shadow. So I'm gonna put a little cover on it so that no bugs or any lint falls in it and clean off some of the drips. In a couple days, I'll take it out, take it outside, and I'll show you how I sand it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to pass on some, you know, things that I've learned to you, and that you can take away, you know, some of my ideas and help you with your resin work. I really enjoy making these ocean-inspired resin boards. They're a ton of fun. And if you would like to leave any comments or ask me any questions, please do. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to give my video a like. I would love that. And if you'd like to see more videos of mine, please don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks again, you guys, and stay tuned for part 3 coming up in a couple more days after this guy cures really well, so I can give it a good sand, and we'll do that process together as well. All right, have a great night, and see you in a couple days. Bye.